You have $650 million. Your neighbor thinks you're unemployed. Your barista thinks you're between jobs. Your own brother doesn't know the real number, and he's not going to find out from you. This is what it actually looks like to be rich and invisible, not hiding in a mansion behind a gate, hiding in plain sight, inside a life that looks exactly like everyone else's. You drive a car that's 11 years old, not because you can't afford a new one, because a new car invites questions, and questions invite attention, and attention is the one thing your money can't buy back once it's spent. Your house has 4 bedrooms on a normal street with a lawn you mow yourself on Saturdays. Your neighbors wave. They have no idea they're waving at someone who could buy the entire street and not notice the dent in his balance. You check prices at the grocery store, not because you have to, because the day you stop is the day you start becoming someone you don't recognize. So here's the question nobody asks. If money doesn't change how you live, what was the point of all of it? Stay with me. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why people like this exist, why almost nobody finds them, and what they know about money that the rest of us were never taught. This didn't happen overnight. There was no funding round, no press release, no moment where a number on a screen suddenly changed and the world found out. It happened in decades nobody was watching. A business that grew quietly, one decision at a time, while everyone else was chasing headlines. No LinkedIn announcements, no humbled to share posts, just compounding year after year in silence. The first time the number crossed $10 million, there was no celebration. He told exactly one person, his accountant. The accountant looked at him and asked 6 words that would define every decision after that day. Does anyone else need to know this? He learned the answer is almost always no. Here's what almost nobody tells you about money. The moment people know you have it, they stop seeing you. They start seeing the number. Your closest friend still doesn't know. He thinks you're doing fine. He has no idea that if his business ever needed saving, you could write the check without checking your balance first. You haven't told him, because the moment he knows, he stops being your friend and starts being someone calculating what he means to you. You've watched it happen to other people. Wealth gets out, and suddenly every kindness around them comes with a question mark hanging behind it. Every dinner invitation, every "let's catch up." You stop being able to tell who actually likes you. So the rule became simple. The less people know, the more honest the people around you stay. This isn't free. Privacy this complete has a price, and the price is paid in small, constant restraint. He can't upgrade the car, even when he wants to. Can't mention the second property. Can't correct people when they assume he's struggling. Can't fully celebrate certain wins out loud, because celebrating invites the question, how? There's a specific kind of loneliness in being underestimated on purpose. In letting people believe a smaller version of your life because the real one is too heavy to hand them. But here's what he'll tell you if you ask him directly. He'd take that loneliness over the alternative every single time. His kids don't know either. Not the real number. They know the family is comfortable. They don't know comfortable is a word doing $650 million of lying. He wants them to build their own relationship with money before they inherit his. He's seen what happens to kids who find out too early, the ones who stop building anything, because why would you build when the floor is already gold? He's not doing that to them, so they mow lawns for $10. They save up for things. They feel the version of disappointment that builds character instead of the version of entitlement that erodes it. But there was one night it almost slipped. A school fundraiser. A silent auction. An item nobody else was bidding on. A small thing. A weekend trip worth maybe $2,000. He bid without thinking. Not strategically. Just instinct. The way you'd react to seeing something you liked. The number he typed was 40 times the next highest bid. For 3 full seconds, the room went quiet. The auctioneer actually paused. Heads turned. His daughter, 12 years old, looked at him from across the gym with an expression that said, "What did you just do?" He laughed it off. Said something about it being for a good cause. Wrote a joke into the moment fast enough that it became a story about generosity instead of a story about a number that didn't fit the car he drove there in. He went home that night and sat in his office for an hour, replaying it. Not because anything bad happened, because he'd come closer to being seen than he had in 11 years, and it had taken 3 seconds and a moment of not thinking. That's the actual cost of this life, not the restraint itself. The vigilance, the restraint requires every single day, for decades, without a single day off. So he gives differently now, carefully, anonymously. A scholarship fund that traces back to a law firm, not a name. A local business that mysteriously received a no-interest loan from an LLC nobody can connect to him. A teacher's classroom supply fund that gets refilled every September from an account with no return address. He's learned that generosity without a name attached is the only kind that's actually about the person receiving it, not about how it makes the giver look. Nobody thanks him for any of it. That's the point. He didn't do it to be thanked. His phone buzzes sometimes with numbers that would change most people's lives in a single text. A position up $4 million in an afternoon. He glances at it, puts the phone back in his pocket, and finishes helping his daughter with her homework. The number doesn't get to interrupt the evening. That's a rule, too. People assume silent wealth means disappearing, some compound far away, gated, guarded, separate from regular life. It's the opposite. The safest place to hide $650 million is inside a life that looks exactly like everyone else's. Here's what nobody tells you about money once you actually have enough of it. The fantasy was never the number. The fantasy was never having to think about it. Most people imagine wealth as the thing that gets you noticed. Better cars, bigger houses, a name people recognize. He found something most people never consider, that the real luxury isn't being seen. It's having the option to be seen and choosing not to be. Every person who finds out becomes a small leak in a life he built specifically to hold water. So he keeps the circle smaller than almost anyone would believe is possible at this number. The barista hands him his coffee, tells him to have a good one. He says he will. He means it. Not because of the number sitting quietly in accounts she'll never see, because of the life he built specifically so he'd never need anyone to know it's there. You have $650 million, and the only thing more valuable than the number itself is the fact that nobody's looking for it. Somewhere right now, someone with your exact same bank balance is making a very different choice. Telling everyone, spending loudly, being seen. Give it 10 years. Then we'll talk about which version of wealthy actually lasted.